Okay guys, before we start the video, just quickly, First Man is so much more than just a YouTube channel. We've got digital products, we've got physical products. The digital products include courses, books, ebooks, etc. And the physical products is everything from supplements to clothing to grooming products to the paperback physical copy of our book. So the two links will be below. Go and check them out, guys. And now back to the video you came here to watch. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about something it's a topic that I'm going to talk about openly, but it's something that I'm going to be careful on because I don't want to offend people. I'm at an age now where I don't want to have a business or make money off something that helps one group and then offends another. So I like that. I like the position I'm in life now. It almost gives it lets me know that I'm getting more mature. I've got empathy, things that I didn't have before, and I like that about the new older version of me. So the video is about why I personally do not chase women. And there's kind of two factors to this. And the first one might sound a little bit arrogant, and if it does, well then it does, but the kind of maths checks out. And as I was putting points on the board, as I've been moving through life and I've been accomplishing more, it's not that I feel better than people, not by any shout. My background wouldn't let me do that. My dad, if he was still alive, would smack me around the back of the head if that's how I thought. But the majority of people don't do a lot, okay? And if you are looking in life for a partner, you're going to want somebody who's either on your level, very close to your level, above your level. Like, everybody wants somebody of value. Okay, I'm not just going to go with some local woman who I can find anywhere, because then it's easily replaceable. What's going to keep me around? What's going to keep me engaged? How am I going to put value on that relationship? What's going to stop me, looking at other women, wanting to cheat, wanting to move on, find something better? So I need somebody who I believe is either at my level, very close to that, or above my level. So now you look at, a very unromantic part of what I think relationships are built on, which is logic. And I look at most women and, I think rightly so, because society does value women on beauty so much. So if I was a woman, I would heavily value my beauty. I would heavily value the way I look, because men are very visual. So, but that is one of the main traits that you'll see with women. So you might have a woman who's broke. She kind of has a part-time job, half-asses her way through that job. And I'm got to remind you here, I'm saying plausibly. It's not everybody. This could be a plausible scenario. She still lives with parents, average level education. Doesn't really have any ambitions to improve, get better, but she's beautiful, has a nice body, buys a £10 dress off, Pretty Little Thing. Women's clothing so cheap, but they look great. And she goes on a night out on a Saturday, and everybody's like, wow, this woman's unbelievable, she's stunning, I want her in my life. But then I'll compare my scenario, and I'll think, okay, net worth definitely a millionaire, successful guy, 30 years old, so he's more mature, more established, things like empathy, whatever. I've learnt them along the way. I stay calm 99.9% of the time now, compared to, being a young, irrational man. I've been through a lot. I've accomplished a lot. I've managed to semi-retire my mum, because she wants to still do some work, but I've managed to semi-retire my mum to the point where she's super comfortable in life, loving life. I've buried my dad and paid for the funeral. Little things like this where I think, okay, I've done some decent things in my life now where I know I'm a good person. I'm looking to start charities. I've had multiple success in different businesses. I'm an in-shape guy. I'm 6'2". I dress well. I smell good. I have great assets. I'm on top of everything. I don't watch porn. I rarely drink. I never get drunk. And I'm adding all of that up, and I'm looking around in society, and I'm like, there's probably, you're in the top 1% of men. It's just very rare that anybody would have that collectively. Now, I'm not saying I'm great. I've worked for this. You guys have seen the journey, and I believe almost any man can do the same. There's some things that can hold you back, but almost any man can do the same. with consistent 10 years of self-improvement. Okay, anybody can get to that sort of level. So then when I go on a night out and I see all these beautiful women and whatever, I don't really feel the need to approach. This is just me. Okay, if there's an organic scenario and we end up opening up in a conversation, I'll have a conversation. I'm not some overinflated ego asshole. I will open a conversation. I don't think I'm better than people, but I don't feel the need to chase ever. I don't feel the need to, do certain things that most guys are doing. Like, we have to get some girls home tonight. I'm like, I don't have to. I don't have to at all. I'm like, why do I have to get a girl home tonight? I don't have to be validated by somebody who's beautiful. I don't have to see a girl in a club and be like, I have to go over and talk to her. It doesn't really sit right based on the numbers. Because I'm like, if I'm in the top 1% globally, and I've just seen a beautiful woman and another beautiful woman and another beautiful woman and another beautiful woman, then I start thinking, okay, there's not another me in this room. Is there another me in a wider radius? Maybe, but it's such a small percentage, and he's married. So it's like, based on the numbers, I'm like, I don't really need to chase. I'm not going to go and put effort in for something that should be coming to me. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense. I don't like, it sounds egotistical, but in my opinion, if I'm on a night out and it's taking me, I shave my head, whatever, I put on maybe a bit of skincare, some aftershave, take a shower. If it takes me 15 minutes to get ready and I fly out the door, and then it's taking a woman 4 hours to get ready, I'm not approaching you. I just don't, I'm not chasing after you if it's taking you 4 hours to get ready. You've tried to look as good as possible, and it's only taken me 15 minutes. Because clearly, I don't really care. But if you've got the heels on, the tight dress, if you've got the makeup on, if it's taken you 4 hours and you've done all your hair and everything, and that whole week you've gone out and you've gone and got like a sunbed and everything, you've gone over and beyond, and you've shaved your whole body and you've been like putting cream on for a week straight so you can look as good as possible. You had a nap before you came out so you could look really fresh. I'm sorry, but that says to me that you're wanting something that I couldn't really care about. You're obviously putting in all of that effort to look good. And people say, oh, is it for men? Is it for women? It's for both, okay? Women do it for men and women. On an ideal night, they'd love to like look the best out of all the women, get compliments off women. It's almost like competition. Look how hot I am. And then also get the nicest man that's out that night. Like that's ideal scenarios. Don't let anybody ever tell you it's one or the other. It's both, okay? It's always both. So, like I said, if you've taken 4 hours, you've done all that, you've put in all the effort, like you're the one who clearly wants to get married, have kids, settle down. You're the one who's after all of that. It's not really a manly thing. It's not really a massively manly thing or masculine thing. A masculine thing is going out into the world providing for those kids eventually. But, just being like, oh, I want to get married. I want to fall in love. I want to go on a picnic together and hold hands. Like that's a female dream. So if you want all of that, I'm kind of here. I think personally, you've got to come over to me. Because I just think you've got a ton of options, probably more than me as a woman, but you don't want any of them. Because most guys, I would say 95% don't even get looked at, don't even get considered for the role. So if there is a rare guy in the room that all the other girls are now looking at, who is saying, I want this guy in my life, you got to do something. You got to make it apparent that you like me. You've got to come over into my vicinity. You've got to open a conversation. You've got to say something. You've got to do something that's impressive. You've got to open a level of conversation or spot something, as if a man would years ago. Because I think that value exchange has happened. I think women are more powerful than ever, and they're probably more beautiful than ever. They've got more to offer than ever collectively. But I think there's a small percentage of men, the top 5%, who have gone way above that. The average guy has declined, and that's what's given women this kind of impression that they hold all the value. But I think when they see that rare outlier male who has gone, okay, we're in 2023. I'm going to become more of a modern man. I'm going to dress in a certain way. I'm going to have a skincare routine. I'm going to be multifaceted and get you a man that can do both, that sort of shit. I'm going to become wildly successful in multiple areas of life. I'm going to have amazing life setup. I'm going to travel the world. It's just such a rarity. It's such a rarity that that guy needs to be chased after. And that's almost the conclusion that I've drawn. And for me in my position, because I'm not saying it works for everybody, but for me in my position, it works extremely well. Okay, and you're not going to get girls that are super confident that come over and they're like, hey, I just found you really attractive. Like their friends might do it for you. They might stand next to you at the bar. You got to pick up on these subtle signs. But if you can just open a conversation, engage, say something, you know, a smile or whatever, then I think, okay, it's your job to impress me. And maybe that's wrong. Maybe people will call it arrogant. But I just don't really, until proved otherwise, I don't really see why I should be putting the effort in. If my life is great, my life is cool as fuck, and I already have access to multiple beautiful women, why would I need one more? So you've got to kind of prove something to me. That's where my mindset is at, okay? Point number 2. Sorry guys, I'm checking my emails from here. Am I getting really old? Am I getting blind? Shit. First man needs glasses. No, I'm kidding. I can see all of them. I can, I swear. My second point is Jordan Peterson's point, okay, on that a man should be a monster and then he should learn how to control that. He looks into how, you know, he said that thing about women's porn habits, okay, the things that they fantasize about, the things that they're watching. It was like werewolf, vampire, billionaire, you know, it was all these things, right? To me, in the current position that I'm in life now, I can see that for what it is. And it's given me this impression that, see, it gets dangerous when you say a female role is, a woman's role is, because it's disgusting, because a woman has multiple roles in life. Her role isn't to do this for a man. A woman, like, you can't tell somebody how to live their life and what they should do. So I'm never going to say that. But I definitely think a singular role that a woman will play within her life when it comes to male and female attraction is slowing you down. And a lot of guys will know this. When you get in a relationship with a woman, she will try to, a lot of guys say this, they'll try and fuck you up. They try and slow you down. They try and stop you getting better. And I know it sounds weird. It's almost like a defense mechanism of, you're mine. I want you to stay at this level. I want you forever. If you carry on, I've had girls in the past that when I was broke, they loved me. Once I started to become successful, they were intimidated. They were like, fuck, well, this guy isn't going to stick around. There's no future here. You know, he's obviously sleeping with multiple women. Like, this isn't going to go well. I feel a little bit threatened now. I actually liked you when you were a bum. I was encouraging you to stay at that level. And I've noticed that. And I think, back to the Jordan Peterson point, the vampire, the werewolf, the billionaire thing, the pirate, that was the other one on there. I think there's one more too. But you're a masculine guy with a lot of energy. You know, masculine energy, not negative aggression, but the positive aggression. You're using that to go and accomplish in the world. You're going out into the world to, you know, like I said, put points on the board, smash through things in a metaphorical sense, you know, create a business, rise up the corporate ladder. You know, you're almost untamable. You're not reckless. You're kind of spirited but controlled. You know, you're out there. You're smashing it. You're doing what you want. You're saying, you know, fuck you. I don't have time for that. I'm doing what I want to do. Very masculine in nature. And then for me, it's the female role to stop me, to slow me down, to get her hooks into me and hold me down and be like, look, I know you're trying to accomplish all this stuff. Look what you've done already. It's amazing. I admire you for that. But wouldn't you want a family someday? Like, get inside my head. Start convincing me. Wouldn't it be great? Soften me up. Seduce me. Be my muse. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've accomplished all this stuff, but you need a balance in your life. You can have that with me. You can build that with me. I can be that soft element when you come home. Slow down, babe. Like, let's take more holidays. Let's enjoy life together. You need to convince me to do that. And I think that is one of the singular roles in a female life. I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to destroy it. You're going to notice me doing that and you're going to say, that's super attractive. Now convince me to stop. Do your best job. Convince me to stop. And that is a big reason why I don't chase women. Because I think my role as a man is to go, look what I can build. Look what I can do. Look what I can accomplish. By doing that, it sends signals out and you will be noticed. Then the first point, because I'm such a rarity, I want, I don't say that in an egotistical sense. It sounds egotistical, but I like to be honest. But based on the numbers, I believe I'm a rarity. And what I've seen in society, I believe I'm a rarity. Are there guys better? Of course. But you are a rarity once you get to a certain level. Because of that, you need to show me some level of interest. You need to show me that you'd be worth my time. You need to show me that you'd be worth me losing, some time away from the business, to be sacrificing things that I actually want to be doing. You have to show me that, giving up some of that masculine energy via ejaculation, risking sex with you is worth it. You have to show me something there. I will then invest a little bit of time in you. You then have to convince me that you're worth more time, that you're worth building a life with. I don't see how that would be my role. I don't want to get married. I don't really like the whole loved up, holding hands, skipping down the street, we're going to be together forever Disney stuff. That's not a masculine thing. I need you to convince me to do that shit. I need you to soften me up. That's not inherently masculine. That's not what gets me out of bed in the morning. What gets me out of bed in the morning is the desire to build, to travel, to make more money, to, gain more power, to become a better man, to get myself in better shape, to define myself in multiple areas of life. This is what gets me out of bed, to provide for my current family, mum, sister, etc. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. That's what gets me going. You as a woman, I believe, it is one of your singular roles in life to then stop me from doing that, to slow me down. And I know ultimately is going to lead to me not quite, pushing things as far as I can. But that is almost the beauty of women, is that they can soften you. Now, if you get in a relationship too young, 21 years old, she can stifle everything. She doesn't mean to, but she can stifle everything. And then when it isn't quite where it needs to be, she can leave and go and find another guy who has accomplished all of that. So you have to be very careful. But once I get to a position in life that I've always wanted to get to, and I'm like, I don't really need to work anymore, but I still am, I'm still pushing, etc. If she meets me at the right time and things are going well and she convinces me, because I've got a lot of female friends, I date a lot of different women, they're always saying to me, take a night off, have a nice relaxing bath, go and buy some bath bombs, light some scented candles, meditate. Like, it's all the soft stuff and it's beautiful. But at the same time, I'm like, I haven't got time for that. Oh, I don't have time for that. I'm too fucking busy. I can't be doing that. Yeah, it sounds great in theory, but I can't be doing that. Eventually, a woman's going to convince me to do it. Eventually, she's going to slow me down, where it's like, we should have kids, we should build a family. Instead of living in a penthouse, instead of driving like a Lamborghini, I need you to exchange those for a nice family home in the countryside and a nice, safe, slow driving family car that has, enough space for a booster seat. Get your hooks in, slow me down. But I'm not going to stop what I'm doing and be like, oh, she's beautiful, I'm going to give up all of my dreams, I'm going to give up everything. That's not what women want at all. They want to find you at full speed, just marauding through life. And then she wants to go, hey, notice me, slow down. And then she takes pride in that, taming you, slowing you down. Saying, I came into his life and added that feminine element. Like, he was reckless before he met me. So I girls like bad boys because they think, oh, I can tame that. I can slow him down. I can, it's almost an ego thing from women. As a man, you pay for a date with a woman. You're like, I'm rich. I got money in the bank. I've just paid for a date. Something goes wrong with her car and you pay for it and she didn't have the money for it. Yeah, I'm the boss. I'm the man. That sugar daddy shit. For a woman, finding a guy who's out there, who's reckless, maybe the player, maybe the bad boy, maybe, the guy with the crazy life who's traveling all the time, doing different shit, the big billionaire, and getting her hooks in and softening him up, slowing him down. There's a sense of accomplishment in that. You know, that is feminine energy at its peak. Taming the man. She was so beautiful. Her feminine energy was so strong. She was so influential on this man that she changed his life forever. She turned him into who he is now. Like that, they take pride in that. They take pride in that. It's like how many girls you've seen on social media, and it's very toxic, but they'll say something like, I want the type of relationship where my man's super angry, nobody can calm him down but me. I had a relationship when I was like 21 with this girl, and she was like really beautiful and stuff, and she was quite feminine, I guess. And she always said she always said something like, what'd she say to me? I was like, if I got really angry, oh, we were talking, you know, when you're younger and you're like, when I kick off, and she was like, I could calm you down. She was like, I'd be the only person. You'd stop for me, wouldn't you? And I was like, yeah. And it was just like butter had melted. She loved that. She was like, I'm the only person who has that power over you. A lot of women want that. Women love it. You know, you've got this big, strong, aggressive man who goes out into the world and makes a ton of money. Or not necessarily a ton of money, but finds success. You know, it might be in the workplace. He's, you know, the boss at work. He's leading his team. He comes home from work. He's a little bit stressed and drained. She does all the softening things. What do you want to do as a man when you come home sometimes, when you smashed it all day? You just want to have a cuddle. You just want to sit in front of the TV and have a cuddle. The woman loves that. Because it's like, I'm that muse for you. I'm slowing him down. I'm trying to give him that family life. There's a massive element to that. And that ultimately is why I don't chase. Because I think when you do, it goes against the natural dynamic of male-female relationships. I just don't think it works. You know, there might be a woman who's 32 years old, she's running out of options, you chase her and she's like, do you know what, I'm going to take this. But it's not the real relationship she wanted. She's almost like settling, because she might be on the come down now. She's had her heart broken so many times, you're almost a fallback guy. You're a safety net. You don't want that. But if you're at the top of your game and you're going out into the world and you are ticking boxes, you're moving forward at an accelerated rate, women will notice. They will make it apparent that they want to be with it, want to be in your life, and then they will do their best to slow you down. And a lot of guys misconstrue it. They're like, she's trying to fuck up my life, trying to fuck up my business. She wants me to be ugly and average. I've done that in the past. It's not. It's just a natural female role to slow you down, to get the hooks in, to stop you being that marauding, fuck everybody, hyper masculine, high aggression guy. I've tamed him. He's mine. No other woman can do it but me. There's a sense of accomplishment in that. I was the one. I'm far more beautiful than all these other girls. He did it for me. He stopped for me. You know, my pussy's the best. Nobody else could do it. You know, he wanted to stick around with me because it's better with me. I take care of him better than these other girls could. Once a guy is super high level and he's at a certain point in his life and he is exuding that masculine energy day in, day out, that's when the competition starts. It's when you get all these women going, I could be the one to do it. I reckon I could make you stop. I'd be too much for you. I could slow you down in life. You do it for me. You know, you hear all these sort of things. And that is ultimately, like I said, why I don't chase. I just don't really see the point. Because I think you could chase and you get no women and your life fucks up. Or you get one woman that doesn't really want you, but your life fucks up. Or you can go and chase success. You can go and chase everything that you want to do in life. You can push forward on all masculine fronts. And then as a byproduct of that, you get a ton of female attention. And you still get all the same stuff anyway. Because they'll still want a family with you, etc. moving forward. So personally for me, I don't chase. So how do you get women? It's like, and I want to make a video on this soon. I'm almost a calm extrovert. Okay, so there's so many guys that, I might make a separate video on this. I might sum it up here now. But there's so many guys that are like, I'm an introvert. I just stay quiet. I just spend time on my own. And, you know, women love that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, but if you're sat in the house and you're not going out and nobody's getting to see you, then you're not going to attract any women, are you? Like, it's the dumbest thing ever. I'm an introvert. I never go anywhere. Well, like, how's that going to work? I never talk to anybody. I keep my head down. Well, that doesn't really work, does it? So, and I think calm extrovert is a great way to live in life anyway. So forget about attracting women. It's a great way to be. It's a great way to live your life. You'll go out with friends, you're relaxed, you're composed, you're not trying to fight everybody, you're not trying to fuck every woman. Just calm extrovert. And what I mean is extrovert as in, hey, do you want to go out tonight? Yeah, I think I will. Okay, introvert will be like, no, I want to stay in. But extrovert, yeah, I'll go out. You're always out. You're always doing something. You're always active. You're always busy. But you're calm when you're there. You're not life of the party, jumping around, drinking, shouting and screaming, trying to talk to every woman. Like, you're just a calm extrovert. You're always active. You have a great social life. But when you're there, you're just calm. You're just enjoying the moments. You're getting on with your life. I exude that impression everywhere I go, especially when I'm out. And I'm there to enjoy myself, to let off some steam. You know, I was rendering a project the other day on my computer. It said 2 hours. I was like, hey, I might as well go out. There's no point sitting in and waiting. Went out, met a bunch of people, you know, a couple of women. And then I was like, I need to go home now. I need to pop back home. I was like, I want to be up in the morning. I've done what I came out to do. Have 2 glasses of red wine. I was like, my project's been uploaded. I'm just going to come back home, get an early night. I'll be up again in the morning. That is me doing a balance of everything. Do you know what I mean? You know, you're an extrovert because you're out, but you're calm and you've got that real confidence where you're not trying to force it. You're not going out with a purpose of, I need to get laid tonight. You're kind of just existing in the world. You're letting people see you. I'll find a place where I want to base myself, grab my drink, just enjoy my night, not really looking at anybody. And women will make it apparent. They'll say something like, one girl actually said, are you enjoying that drink? Somebody else was like, can I sit here? Right? Which, of course you can. I'm not sat on that chair. Which then led to a conversation and numbers being exchanged, etc. It went a little bit further. Another girl stood next to me at the bar and kept turning her head and looking. And then we just opened, you know, a dialogue. We just had a little conversation. There's others that you'll say, I said goodbye to a friend who was a bouncer. I was like, see you, buddy. And this girl was like, oh, see you, buddy. That's almost like, hey, notice me, talk to me. Once you get those mini moments, then you can open a dialogue and you can have a conversation. And you're like, okay, I'm going to get to know you. But I need to see something because I'm not going to then chase. I've got other things to be worried about. Certain men of a certain level are very rare. There's not many that you're going to find. So it's like, okay, I'll open a conversation with you, but I'm not, you know, I'm calm. I'm the calm extrovert. I'm not super excited. I'm not thinking, okay, here we go. We're going to fuck tonight. I'm going to drag this girl home. Like, this could be it. Oh, I haven't bust in 3 weeks. Like, it's not that shit. And this is what more guys need to realize. That is, I think, is the foolproof system. It's the best one because you're not even focused on women. You're focused on yourself. And then you're making people prove their value to you. Like I said, I just don't see any logic. If it took me 15 minutes to get ready and I've got other shit that I'm thinking about while I'm out and I've got to get home and work on a business idea and you've not really got anything going on in your life and it took you 4 hours to get ready and you've been speaking about, oh, we can't wait for that night out on Saturday, you know, and you've been talking about that for a week, I don't really see it being my role to then approach you. Doesn't really make sense, does it? That doesn't make sense at all. It's like in the workplace, if you're trying way harder to impress me and you're putting in way more effort and you're going over and beyond, I would guess that you're the employee. If I came in for 15, 20 minutes and left and you were there 4 hours after work, I would be like, well, he's probably the boss and they're probably the employees. And that's the kind of dynamic that it sets up. And I just think, I don't know, if you're putting all that effort in, if you're wearing the bright coloured clothes and I'm just going out in like very dampened, muted colours, just kind of casual, just minding my own business, don't really, you know, I'm not there for the single purpose of finding the one and trying to find a woman that I can get married to. That's the female dream. Finding the one, the perfect man that I can get married to and, you know, settle down and have kids. That's your dream. So if you want that to happen, I just believe you've got to come up to me or make it apparent that you're interested. And women do. But you've got to notice the cues. You've got to notice them, okay? You've got to pick up on them. But you only get there, like I said, from being the calm introvert. You can't be the guy who's super excited, jumping around, you know, life of the party, drinking, you know, taking drugs, etc. It's just going to be like, this guy's fucking super thirsty. He's on it. He's just, you know, yeah, guys, big night out. Let's go. There's so much pussy out. You hear guys like that all the time. I'll sit next to them at the bar, and there'll be two guys going, you seen that girl over there? Mate, her body. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Should go over. Nah. We'll wait. We'll have a few more drinks first. That never goes well. It just never goes well. But then I'll just be sat on my own. I'll be thinking about fucking business, just sipping on a drink. Maybe you're talking to the guy behind the bar. Maybe the girl behind the bar because you know them. You know, just minding your own business, just bobbing your head to music. And somebody will always tap you on the arm and be like, why are you on your own? What are you up to? My friend really likes you. My friend thinks you're attractive. Or some girl will like whisper in your ear, do you know what I really like? You're not staring at all the girls in the room or something like that. And you just be like, okay, here we go. Conversation. Or they'll buy the drink next to you at the bar and just keep looking. They're waiting for you to like look back or whatever. And then eventually you won't look back and they'll say something. Like, why are you drinking red wine? Most men don't drink red wine. Most men drink beer. Like a shit test of some sort. You know? Or they'll be like, are you on your own because you're a weirdo? You just smile, laugh it off, move on. And then they're like, okay, this guy isn't going to fall for my shit tests. That calm extrovert. You don't get that from sitting in and watching Netflix and being like, I'm a loner introvert. Girls are going to love me. Like, it's not going to work. It's the dumbest strategy ever. You have to be out. You have to be seen. It's like having the greatest product in the world, but it's not in the shop window. It's not on a website. It's just at home. And you're like, why don't people like my shit? You have to do some level of marketing, which might be dressing well, smelling good, haircut, beard, whatever it might be, you know, skincare routine, and you look good. You've been in the gym for a couple of years and you look fantastic. Well, that's your marketing. You're there. You know, you're not thirsty. You're kind of just out and about. You give yourself a 100% better opportunity of being seen and opening a dialogue, having a conversation. The more you're active, the more you're out. If you've gone gym, you've gone out that night, you've gone to 2 restaurants in the day, you've met with friends, you're probably going to meet 1,000% more women than the guy sat at home just going, yeah, I'm a loner, I'm an introvert. Girls just like the silent type. It's like, you're not out. You're not really doing anything. But then once you're out, if you are just the calmest guy, you know, you're very relaxed about everything. You're minding your own business. Your intentions are, I'm coming out for social purposes, or just I want to be around people. I want to feed off the energy, rather than I'm going out because I want to pool tonight. That's a very limited 18-year-old mindset. And I promise you, when you do that, you get chased. You're the one who's got the power. And like I said, I just don't see the point. If you've taken 4 hours to get ready and I've taken 15 minutes, you got to come over. You got to say something. Because this is your dream. It's not my dream. I could be single forever and I'll be all right with that. I could probably figure something out as a man. I could probably get somebody pregnant on a one-night stand, just pay some bills and just carry on living the way I'm living. I could adopt. I could do something. But as a woman, it's like this burning desire to meet the one, to settle down. It's like, if you want that, I just believe with the dynamic and the fact that I'm hurtling through life and you've got to get your hooks in, slow me down, soften me up, convince me that there's a better life to be had, I'm not going to chase. That's how I do it. I hope that didn't sound arrogant, guys, but that's basic. I've just told you what's going on in my life right now. That's basically how I'm living, step by step, with exact scenarios that happened literally a week ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever. So that's the way I see it. And I just think more guys should aim for that scenario. It makes you super happy. The dynamic is better because I think you don't look thirsty. You're not chasing. You don't look like you have a lack of options. And, you know, I don't know how, but society's put it in men's heads for decades. You need to approach the woman. You need to sweep her off her feet. You need to impress her. But like I said, everything I explained there, it says the opposite. It's like you want all of this stuff. Now, women's confidence levels aren't as high as men because of testosterone. They have to have a few drinks maybe before they even say a single word to you. So there has to be an element of you perhaps opening a dialogue because she keeps looking at you. She stood next to you. You know, but it has to be warranted. It can't be like, oh, you're really beautiful, by the way. It just destroys everything straight away. It has to be warranted. It has to be for a reason. You know, it might be something as silly as she's about to put her like arm on the bar and there's a big spillage on there and you're like, whoa, watch out. And you help her with it. You probably end up having a 10-minute conversation off the back of something really small like that. Do you know what I mean? I've just pulled that out my arse or whatever. Or you're opening a door. You and a girl have got to a door first, and you open it, and you're like, "It's okay. You come through first." She smiles at you, and then later in the night, she feels confident enough to open a conversation with you. It could be something as small as that, but you've got to pick up on these cues. But I just don't believe it's the male job to approach. I don't think You look at the hit rate in pickup. When guys are doing street game, pickup artists, whatever, the hit rate is terrible. And most girls only give their number away in order to get rid of you. So it's like, I just don't see, I've never thought that worked. You know, my marathon mindset, which is what this was all based in, and how I got to this position of almost like the calm extrovert, and how I no longer chase anymore, but I still get the best results of my life. That is how it all came about, the marathon mindset. I just realized, just saying, hey, morning, how are you? You okay? Oh, did that thing go well? Oh, brilliant. And then moving on, you know, and engaging that way. And then them being like, actually, I trust this guy now. I feel like I know him. I'm gonna open a conversation with him. It just works 100 times better than, you know, going out into the world, head on a swivel. Every guy will tell you that. You know, I used to do this when I was young. You go out and you're like, mate, we're gonna get laid tonight. I'm looking fresh. You know, that girl that I'm seeing tonight, I'm definitely taking her home. You never do. You never do. It's always that quiet Wednesday when you were just minding your own business that you get a text off her or something. And once you figure that out, you figure out, and this is the thing, I've always kind of, it's a tough one, because this subject of, man, how you attract women, it becomes, I don't want it to sound like some obsession in your life, where it's like you're doing self-improvement to attract women. That's the thirstiest thing in the world. I never did it because of that. I did it because I wanted a better life, and I knew as a byproduct it would help. But guys commit suicide over things like finances, not being able to attract a woman, being single for a long time, going through a divorce. So knowing how these things work, and if you don't have to put in a lot of effort, and you play the game the way it should be played, and then it works for you, you know, life starts rewarding you, well, surely that's better. That's best case scenario, isn't it, guys? Because I'm telling you now, I've got a lot less stress now at 30 than I did at like 18, 21, 25, before I really like honed this shit in and figured all of this out. You have a date when you want it. You can have sex when you want it. You know, you want a little cuddle, you're feeling a little bit down, life's a bit stressful, you could probably get that. You know, you go on a night out, you're getting attention, you're having conversations, you come home, you feel good about yourself. Like, that is a much better scenario than being a guy who's constantly chasing, constantly doing pickup artist stuff, who's constantly trying to, you know, chase after these women and just not getting results and feeling like shit and getting rejected. Because it's no different than when I used to do cold calling. It's probably the first time I really picked up on all of this stuff and figured out how it works. But when I used to do cold calling, I would ring 100 people in a day, and at the start it was full of energy, and you'd get a no from all of them, rejection, putting the phone down on you. There's always tomorrow. After like 3-4 months, I was like, I can't fucking do this forever. It's draining me. I feel like shit. I feel like my confidence is doing that in day-to-day life. These people don't want to speak to me. I feel awful. And then I realized, I was like, oh, it's because I'm like forcing it on them. And then, you know, I would then start asking them questions and figuring out what they wanted, what position the company was in at the time. I would send them some information, you know, via email, and kind of pre-confirm it. You know, and I wouldn't rush it. It would just be a nice little subtle first call, nice little how you getting on, how's business going and everything. Is there a need for so-and-so right now? There could be in the future. Okay, I'll touch base in a month or so. And over time, sales start coming in. I started to tick those boxes once I found the need, once I found what they actually required, what they actually wanted. Because once I knew what they wanted, I was able to tick those boxes. But just going balls to the wall and being like, hey, do you want to buy our stuff? You can buy it because it's the best thing on the market. That's such a thirst strategy. Please give me money. Please buy my products. Please, please, please. It's the same with women. Please come home with me. You're beautiful. I really just need a woman in my life. You can't give off that level of energy. So everything that I've said there, guys, especially the calm extrovert thing, it's just good for life. It just makes you a better human being. It makes you a better man. It gives off the correct energy. You know, you don't want to be the guy who's sending message after message. Hey, what you up to? So are we still good for next week? Just get on with your shit. Just get on with your shit. Most of the women that I've ever slept with are girls that I've kind of let it fizzle out with. We've been having a conversation or whatever, and I was like, I'm just getting too busy. It's not really the time right now. Like, a friend of mine the other day was talking to a girl, showed her my Instagram. She was really interested. She was like, tell him to message me. I was like, well, that's never gonna work. Like, what a terrible dynamic. I have to chase after you and message you. So I was just like, just tell her I'm too busy right now, which is true because I've got a lot of shit going on. But like, I'm not saying a guarantee, but there's probably a high likelihood that in the future, if we bump into each other or whatever, we see each other because we know each other's faces, that, that is going to be a great foundation to build off. I was too busy. Okay. And then she's going to be like, what about now? Would you be free to go for it? She's going to try and insinuate a date. That's a guy that I wanted, but I kind of missed out on. He was too busy for me. Now it almost gives it value, almost makes it like I said earlier, she wants to slow you down. He's too busy for me. What can I do to slow him down? To show him that you shouldn't be busy all the time. You should be spending time with me. I want to see you. Let's spend a weekend together. I'll make it worth your while. The amount of times I've heard girls say that, take this weekend off work. I'll make it worth your while. It's pretty much one of the only powers that they have is the submissiveness, the beauty, the sex, etc. They will use that as a package, to soften you up, etc. It will be calmer. We can relax. We can go out for food, babe. We can travel a bit. It will be beautiful. We can spend time together, deep conversations. It's all submissiveness, feminine energy, sex. It's all rooted around that. And that's the one power that they have. And as soon as you go, you're beautiful, she's like, I know, that's my power. I've got it. He's just another fan. So you need to get to a position or put yourself in a position via life steps, life setup, who you are as a human being, the energy that you're exuding out into the world, so that then she has the ability or she has the opportunity to go, okay, I need to use that feminine energy. I need to use my superpower to slow this guy down, to make him notice me. That is when it will be things like, she'll be all dressed up on a night out and she'll want to come over and show how beautiful she is. She'll want you to touch her. There'll be certain things, or she'll want to come home with you so she can sleep with you to be like, look what you're missing out on, dickheads. Like she can then be like, okay, I need to do something. I need to push this on him. This is what I found anyway, guys. I don't know if it's different for other people. But that ultimately is why I don't chase. And I think that scenario there is the promised land. Doesn't mean you have to be a dick as well. Please don't be a dick. Like, treat people with respect. But that is the perfect scenario. And the reason I'm telling you this, because this is certainly not a pickup artist channel. And I don't want to create these toxic men that are very, anti-women, stuff like that. But the reason I tell you that is because there are billions of men on planet Earth who are suffering with women, who don't understand how it all works. It's causing stress. They're on nights out. I've seen them going, we need to get laid tonight. I need to get some women. Can you sort me out? Can you set me up? It's a problem for them. It's on their mind a lot. They're single and lonely and watching porn all the time, and they're upset and they're considering suicide. They're drinking their sorrows away. If I can help towards fixing that by making you a better man and showing you the genuine organic dynamic that works between men and women, and this is from trial and error over the years, then I'm happy with that. I think that's good content. I think that's something that men can benefit from and that will improve their life. And that's what this channel is all about.